Hi, Rachel here from the Kickass Midlife Method. Thanks for joining me on my mat floor-based yoga session for today. So you'll need a strap of some kind that you can get around your foot, so you could also just use your a belt from a dressing gown. Anything that you've got is absolutely fine. So we're going to get started. It's not going to be too much of a dynamic one here, much more a restorative, nice easy stretch. So bringing your hands directly underneath your shoulders. Make sure you don't sink into that. Draw the shoulders back, knees underneath the hips. And then let's just center here. So just to visualize like a little rope from the crown of your head, just gently stretching you away, and from your tailbone, so you're lengthening through the spine. And begin to tune into your breathing. So you're breathing in through the nose gently for a count of 3, 2, 1, and then you're exhaling through the nose again. 3, 2, 1. Doing that with your own count, just tuning in. We're not doing anything else for the time being, just focus on that breath. So letting go of everything that may have happened in your day so far, or that you've got to do depending on when you're doing this yoga session. Knowing that just for the next 20 minutes, this is your time, and that it's benefiting you. And just let go of any distractions or anything you've got to do. You can do it all later, doesn't matter. 20 minutes is nothing. Now we're just going to take it into a cat stretch. So inhale, looking up. Exhale, round the spine, round the shoulders, dropping your head. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. On this next inhale, just coming to neutral. You're going to tuck the toes, and this time exhale as downward dog. Holding this position, so stretch through the backs of your legs, really push into your hands, spread your fingers wide. Nice, 5 breaths here. Exhale, 1. Exhale, 2. Exhale, 3. Exhale, 4. Exhale, 5. Come down to your knees, stretch back into child's pose. So if any of the holds are too long, you just come into child's pose and then join on the next one. You kind of gently just push into your palms of your hands a little bit, heels of your hands, to get that connection here, hips to heels. Then inhale, coming all the way up. Exhale into downward dog again. So you can kind of move your feet a little bit further in if you want. Don't move your hands in the right position if they were underneath your shoulders. Just to feel that stretch a little bit more. Feel like your ankles, your heels are dropping down towards the mat. If they touch the mat, great. You've got greater flexibility through your ankles than I have. It doesn't matter where you are. You are where you are, and that's what's good for your body. Maybe just nod your head a couple of times. Release any tension. Exhale. Let's drop that back down in child's pose again. Just shuffling your hips side to side this time. Keeping your head down. Just whatever comes natural, what feels right for your body. Just easing out that lower back, the spine. And inhale, coming up. Exhale, downward dog. This time, inhale that right leg all the way up into the air, and then just drop it over to the left, opening up through the hip. Good, dropping that back down to the floor. Inhale that left leg up, and then drop it over. Try to keep both arms, both legs straight. Good, dropping that down to the floor. Taking it back down. Good. Inhaling up. This time you can bring that right foot forward in line with your hand, and then stretch this back leg back as far as you can without changing this right angle. You can see here that front leg, and then just sinking down. So you may find you go in your elbows, you might find here is enough. I find here and quite all right with me with all my running I do, but just wherever feels right for you. Just don't hunch through the shoulders, try and soften the shoulders, which you may find it's easy to do that if you slightly bend your elbows. Just hanging your head, focusing on 5 breaths. I'm just going to stay quiet whilst you do your own count. Right, this time you're going to take that foot across the line of the mat and then stretch out, looking back underneath your body to making sure that your back leg is actually coming directly in line with your hip and you haven't taken it over to one side. And then you might want to come down to your elbows, you might want to come all the way down to your forehead. I'm going to start up here because my ankle's a little bit stiff. Again, relaxing my shoulders. I'm just going to hang out here for about a minute, maybe a little bit longer. And in that minute, just focusing and breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. And in that time, you might feel you can soften and go a little bit lower. Most important thing is to keep focusing on that breath. ABC. If you want to go a little bit lower, last 10 seconds. And then slowly coming up, taking those hands directly underneath your shoulders again, tucking the back foot to lift up into that downward dog. Maybe shake that out a little bit, and then let's take it over to the other side. So bringing the left foot into that nice parallel thigh with the floor and that nice right angle, bringing both hands, and then you stretching this back leg out as far as you can, soften through the shoulders, and then maybe go down to the elbows. I'm staying right here, just softening my elbows a little bit, focusing on that hip. Try not to roll out of the foot, keep that foot flat. Where your body is feeling the discomfort, it will try and roll away from it. You want to settle into that hip. So that's helping that hip to create a bit more synovial fluid, helps move things around a little bit. Just dropping your head. Good. And then taking this foot over also into pigeon. So foot across the width of the mat, centering the hips, and then stretching and lengthening out. Softening the shoulders so you're not holding tension. Settle in. Deep breath in through the nose, out through the nose. Keep that breathing going. Ten breaths. Good. And coming up, lifting through that back foot into downward dog. And then just coming down to your knees. I'm going to come all the way down onto our bellies. You're going to take the elbows now to just underneath your shoulders. Soften the shoulders so you're not like this, but pulling away and back down the shoulder blades. We're just going to hold it here. So gentle back bend, 10 seconds before we go into a more challenging back bend, which works your thigh muscles. So try and soften your buttocks, try not to clench. Soften your jaw. You're going to feel compression in your lower back, that's normal, that's what you're expecting to feel. So don't freak out. And then slowly coming down, just shuffle your hips side to side to release that off. Then we're going for a quad stretch, so reaching around, let's go on the right foot first, then make sure that if you've done it like me, sideways on, you then bring the thighs together, then roll over, and then you're slightly kicking into that foot, not too much, but just enough that you can feel that stretch in your thigh muscle a little bit more. Imagine that you're lengthening down through that leg rather than you're not trying to get your heel to your bum, you're trying to lengthen away and gently create a little bit of pressure in the hand. Five more breaths. Final one, and then release that off. Switch it over to the other side. Again, making sure you take the knees together before you roll back over. And then settle in, stretching away. And then releasing that leg off. And now we're just going to turn over onto our back so you can hold your yoga strap or dressing gown, belt. Just loop it over your foot, and then we're going to take that leg up. So you want your arm, you want that band to be as long that you can do this, rather than having to go up and then crunch your shoulders up. So just every breath, you're going to stretch away with the opposite leg. So if you're active with my left leg is in the air and my right leg, you're going to be active with that foot to help anchor you down. Breathing in, exhaling. Every time you exhale, maybe just bring it a little bit higher up. Five more breaths. And then slowly release. We're going to switch over to that other foot, other leg, and reaching up. Making sure, if possible, that your backs of your arms on the floor. Stretching away into that leg. Every exhale, just see if you can bring it a little bit further up. Push through the heel. I don't know whether you can see that, the difference from there to me pushing through the heel, and that creating a bit more length. And then exhale. Slowly come down. And then just turning sideways on, just that final stretch. Sitting cross-legged, reaching up, tail, from the crown of your head, sorry, to the tailbone. And then reaching that left arm up and just stretching away. Keep this hip grounded. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Coming all the way up to finish. Thanks for joining. Just goes to show 20 minutes can really help you just to de-stress and get a nice stretch in your body.